Talking on the 147.435 repeat, forever home of KC6USO. Is that GTO?
How you doing, bud? This is November 6 Tango Kilo. Ted, I'm way glad to hear your voice out there. I'm sure you have some interesting things to say, but what's your legal status at the FCC and operating on amateur radio frequencies, especially amateur radio repeaters? Could you give us a clarification on that? This is N6TK.
You know, Tucker, I'm glad you asked that, because you can all check out my current situation on my 435 Truth webpage, and basically my modification order, according to my attorney, is null and void, and essentially he has, and I have in writing from my attorney, that it's his legal opinion that I have a right to be out here, and that the modification is not valid because of a lot of procedural things that were messed up on. So now Riley can deal with my attorney, and he can go ahead and you know, maybe make me an offer, or you know, whatever he wants to do. I mean, I've spent a lot of time and busy for the last couple months procuring financial backing, you know, carefully planning this all out, so you guys can all see my attorney's letter to Mr. Hollingsworth on my 35 Truth page. So, Roy, that is the current situation. And Roy, I want to thank you for providing this wonderful repeater for us out here for many years. You know, it takes an unselfish man to reach deep into his pocketbook, open up those purse strings, and let the money flow out to provide this repeater for a bunch of ingrates. This is KC6PQW, talking on the 147.435 repeater, home of Roy Tucker.
The plot thickens. Okay, well, maybe by my asking you the question, you won't have 10,000 people asking you the same question. In the next few days, you'll only have 5,000. Hi. Well, okay, so people out there should recognize that Ted says on his own responsibility, he feels he has a legal right to operate, has some documentation which is available there in the public domain that a lot of people have access to here from 435, and there it is. Otherwise, I was going to ask you to do an immediate QRT. We certainly had a sad experience through the years with Richard Burton, who came along and played games, and people urged him on, and then he went off to the pen, and then he came back, played games, and people urged him on, and then he went off to the pen again. And well, I always blame the people as much as himself, Burton is, for that type of activity. But you've clarified the situation there, so let's see what it is. And just one little bit of advice. I've always felt if you're not doing anything wrong, you never have to do any worrying about anything. So if you keep a clean record out here, I might even give you a letter of endorsement myself. But no more hogging and more tearing up the frequency in the fashion that sometimes you certainly were associated with. But we have a repeater here, which is welcome to all, as long as they follow the rules and don't hog it. So we got Ted back with exclamation, with explanation. Okay, well there it is. I'm working on my my antique radio roundtable thing. In fact, I can plug it here. 8 o'clock. We've got, as usual, a potpourri of our items dealing with the electrical past that we will bring up on the antique radio roundtable of Southern California with the N6TK and KC6TK. So see you at 8 o'clock. Back to you, Ted, and just pass it around and do it every 5 minutes, not every 5 hours.
You know, Roy, amid the political turmoil and social unrest, you know, that has plagued this repeater, you know, it is comments like that. I appreciate your concern for my well-being. I appreciate your support there, Roy, and I support you 100% as well in your 435 endeavors. No, I was very smart about this. I covered myself. I have a letter from my attorney that's his legal opinion, and that is his, and he's the guy. He's an FCC specialist. You should know him very well. And well, I'll tell you what. I mean, the guy is sharp as a 10. sharp attack. He's been doing this for many years, and I think he's going to do a great job for me, and I'm ready for anything. I got plenty of dough socked away. But I don't want to be a repeater hog. I never want to be accused of that. So does anybody else want to have a Q? People a while back were talking about linoleum flooring and roofing and things like that. Maybe somebody would like to have a Q about that or something. I'll open it up. This is KC6PQW.
Yeah, Ted. Yeah, we need the old Ted back. This is bullshit. We need somebody to once again take command of the repeater.
Yes, Ted, you know this is going to upset GDP to no end. He's just going to pee all over himself when he finds out that his little scheme didn't work after all.
Well, NHJ just wants to say, welcome home, Betty. Welcome back to Palace. I've been sleeping in the front steps waiting for your ass to get back. Welcome home.
Thank you, my brother. You guys can all check my site over at www.geocities.com/the435truth. And now Riley can, his correspondence now must be with my attorney. And we'll go from there. It's going to be very interesting. I was never a person to give up, ever, on anything. And I'm tenacious about things. It's not in my nature to just roll over and accept anything. And there's a big difference between myself or Richard Burton and or Lester. Okay, especially Lester. Apparently Lester pulled a big bluff on Riley and just said, oh, he's going to do all his lawyer stuff, whatever it is. Riley cut his time in half. That was very amusing, but we all know out on 435 that Lester doesn't have a pot to piss in. Well, I do. And I am not out here to cause trouble. I'm, doing my best to identify every minute KC6PQW and not be a repeater hog. And not even though there's a rule against being long-winded. I do want to be courteous, so I'll pass it over once again. But Mike, UK, and the rest of you guys, I appreciate your support greatly.
Oh, Ted, welcome back, and this is Whiskey Delta 6, Alpha Charlie Echo. Can I get a break?
Thank you, Ace. I certainly do. Go ahead, Ace.
Yeah, I asked...
Why is nothing done about the jam? A little music goes through my station, and that's a big problem, but all this jamming occurs and nothing gets done about it, And what do you guys think is worse? What do you think is worse? Selling these junk bond coins, and then taking back and not giving people their money back, or allowing a little music to go through your station? I think we all know the answer to that question there. But if you guys would stop jamming and let Ace through, it would be much appreciated. KC6PQW.
Yeah, Theodore, that's CSG's remote.
That's either me...
CSG's remote. That is CSG's remote doing that.
55 intermittent with gauges for sale in pristine condition.
Ted, RCC Ranger asked through me, grinder.
Well, I'll tell you what, they're going to have to go through my attorney and through my financial backers and everybody else. I mean, I got to tell you, I'm, like I said, this is all very calculated. It's even we're here, even here on Friday at 7:27. Of course, the office is closed in Cerritos, and they're definitely closed up on the East Coast, but I'm sure Monday they'll have a lot of calls and things like that, and it's that I'm very disappointed because, over here, I was decent enough to respond to Riley's letter within 20 days, but, he has some sort of problem with dealing all the issues of my letter, and over 30 days have gone by, and he hasn't discussed with my attorney all the issues. So I think that needs to occur, and soon.